Hi everyone and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So in today's video we are going to be doing a game hunt, and yeah, we're going to be doing this one a bit different because I haven't really got anything planned. We are just going to head out into Maidstone and see what we can find. I'm not aiming to hit up all the charity shops and everything like that, but I do want to head into CEX at the end of the video. So what we'll do is we'll head out. I'm going to probably put a bit of voiceover sort of while we're out and about as well, which is not something I normally do on the game hunt videos, but I thought something a bit different. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll head out and yeah, I'll talk you through the different places that we're visiting, and yeah, when we've done that, we'll come back and we'll have a look at the pickups that I've managed to get. So our first port of call for today is going to be game. And yeah, as you can see, this is one of the games that have been moved inside. So this one's actually inside House of Fraser. And yeah, it is a bit gutting. It really is. I actually think, as of now, so when the video goes live, I think the House of Fraser has closed. I might be wrong. I swear I was down that end of town the other week and I saw it all closed up. Once again, I might be wrong. If I can find something in the comments if I can find something before the video goes live, then I'll let you know. So just having a look through the games, this one jumped out at me. 2 Points Campus. Reason is that it's obviously by the same makers as 2 Point Hospital, which is a spiritual successor of Theme Hospital. And I absolutely loved that game growing up. So, yeah, decided to grab that one. And then just having a look through, there's not really much. Obviously, I'm there looking. I looked at Doom, but obviously with Doom, nothing's on the disc. So, I've not got. If I know that a game doesn't have anything on the disc, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to pick it up. But yeah, other than that, games-wise, they had latest releases, but nothing else. I think Game have now, they've stopped doing pre-owned and everything like that. And then yeah, just looking around, it is just a mix and match, just a hodgepodge really of sort of different bits. Some gaming, some not. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame. And then heading off up to town, back to the old staple of CEX. And what I always do now is I always have a look in the window, but what I'm also doing is looking behind the window to see what's actually behind the cabinets. And then just having a look at the SNES games, one jumps out of me, and I don't know if you can see it properly on the footage, but that is James Bond Jr. And that was a series that I watched when I was younger. I have actually got copies of it as well. So, yeah, when I saw that was there, it was one that I wanted to pick up. And then onto the PS5 games. The game that I just picked up was the main reason that I went into CEX today, because it was actually cheaper in CEX than on eBay. And there you go. So, it was Maneater. So, I'll have a bit more look at it when we get back. But I will admit, this copy of House of the Dead really got my attention as well. More so because it had a slip cover. Anything with a slip cover is always going to pique my interest. And then just before heading off, I'm just going to have a quick look through the PS4 games. I did have a look at the other games, and there wasn't really anything else I saw. So, before we head back to the games room, I just wanted to quickly talk about this. So, as I was walking through town, I come up to the WH Smiths, and there's all branding all over the place for Toys R Us. Now, I grew up with Toys R Us. I still drive past the store, or where the store used to be, looking at it with envy, the fact that there are other stores now in there and Toys R Us just doesn't exist anymore. And yeah, to actually see that it is now back. I'd heard rumours that it was coming back online, but didn't know that it was actually coming back in sort of physical stores. So you'll see here, coming to the back of WH Smith's, they've basically got a section of the store that is basically allocated to Toys R Us. And yeah, unfortunately it isn't the Toys R Us of old, but even still, it is so great to actually see it back. Now, looking around, there were sort of about the big wall there of Lego. It's very select what they have in here. Looking around, I don't really think I saw anything gaming really, apart from obviously the Funkos. But yeah, it was just really surprising to actually see that it actually come back on the high street. But yeah, as I say, I was looking around, didn't see anything gaming. Like, there was no games or anything, no physical games or anything like that. But yeah, just absolutely over the moon to see it back, and I really, really hope that it does succeed. And even with all the Jeffrey merch. So yeah, I will admit I've still got the soft toy that I got just before the stores shut last time. But yeah, so that is it, and what we'll do is we'll head back to the games room now and have a look at the pickups. Okay, so that is all of the pickups that we managed to find in Maidstone. So we'll have a bit of a deeper dive into what we managed to find. And yeah, I would admit, I just have to say, I absolutely love the fact that Toys R Us is coming back. So yeah, you would have seen in the video, and I would have sort of talked about it, the fact that it is actually at the back of the post office. Oh no, sorry, the back of WH Smith's, next to the post office. And yeah, it is just absolutely amazing. So nostalgic to see that it's back. And yeah, really glad. It is a bit of a shame. It is, I'll be honest, it's a shell of its former self. But it's still absolutely brilliant to actually see that it's back and that it isn't completely dead. But diving into the pickups, the first pickup that we've got was actually one that I didn't get any footage for, because I did nip into one of the charity shops between sort of where we parked the car and where CEX was, and I literally just picked up a DVD box set, and that was the complete Breaking Bad box set. Now, this is a series, I'll be honest, I've never watched. I think I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes of it, and yeah, just never actually spent the time to watch it all the way through. So yeah, I saw the box set there and just decided to sort of jump in and grab it. Ended up picking it up for £5. It sells for about £12 or sells for £12 on CEX, and normally goes for about £11 on eBay. I'm just going to stick that off to the side. I do think that it is missing sort of like an outer sleeve, but to be quite honest, I literally got it just to have it on DVD. So the first place that you would have seen on the video was me hitting up Game. And yeah, this is another one that really makes it's saddening for me how far Game has fallen. So at one point there was the Game store was actually out on the high street, but then yeah, I literally went into town one time and it had gone. And at that point as well, the House of Fraser in town had actually shut down as well. So it was when House of Fraser was up in the air. It was being bought out, but it hadn't quite finished. And yeah, the actual House of Fraser store in the town centre had shut. Obviously, it has now reopened, but it's reopened with all of these other brands sort of crammed in there as well. Game being one of them. So it is a good thing that we do have a Game in the town centre, but I'll be honest, as I say, it is just a shell of its former self. Very much like all the reports you're getting about sort of GameStop over in the US, where it is just on life support. But for the first time, I went in there and I did actually pick up some bits. And we managed to get a new game for the collection, and that was 2 Points Campus. This is the enrollment edition on the PS5. And yeah, as I was looking through, I saw it there. It was listed for $10.99, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to pick it up. Yeah, should have probably done a bit more research before I picked it up, but hey ho. So this one comes with, what does it come with? The University Prospectus, the campus map, as well as 2 Point bonus DLC pack. So I think that is It's extra content for both 2 Point Campus and 2 Point Hospital, which we do have 2 Point Hospital, but I think that is on the Xbox One. I don't think we've got it on the PS5. But even still, another game. I absolutely love 2 Point Hospital, Theme Hospital, all of those sort of games. And yeah, with this one, really, really chuffed. The only thing I am a bit gutted about is I didn't see it at the time of buying it, but there is just behind this, it is ripped. So yeah, a bit of a shame there, but equally still really glad to have it. We paid, as I say, $10.99 for this. The standard edition goes for £6 at CEX, and this version goes for $8.50 on eBay. So yeah, I will admit, if I do go into gaming future and I do see games that seem cheap, I am going to be looking them up before picking them up, because yeah, I thought it was cheap when I was in there, didn't bother looking it up, and yeah, it ends up being sort of more expensive than both the other places where I would have picked the game up from normally. But as I say, just like its predecessor, it is very funny and works just as you expect. And yeah, I will admit, playing both Hospital and Campus, even the fact that I was using the controller, which I think with the Xbox One I can plug the mouse in if I wanted to, but yeah, they work fine with the controller. So yeah, not a problem having them. And then next up, I did pick up another sort of sub collection, and you'll see it just over my shoulder, sort of my little hat collection that I've got of sort of gaming hats. The one we didn't have was an Xbox One. So this is more in the style of like the Xbox One, Xbox Series X. So yeah, saw it there, decided to pick it up. I think originally it had a price tag of $6.99 on it, and by the time I got to the till, they scanned it through, and it was scanning through at £4. So yeah, really happy with that. Looking it up online, this one goes for about £7 on eBay. But yeah, as I say, it's another hat for the collection. I always love I like having the different baseball caps in the collection, and yeah, some of them up there. So I've got my Sonic one there, my PlayStation one. I think we've got my Zelda. I don't know that I can't remember what the other ones were. So there's another. Well, that one, the one behind. So we've got the grey PlayStation one just there, and then just underneath that we've got a black PlayStation one, which I actually did get from Game as well. So we've got 2 PlayStation hats from Game. Then diving into the pickups that I got from CEX, and the first one that we got is a PS4 title, and that is Kill la Kill If. So I have no clue about this game. I purely picked it up for the cover art. I didn't even know what sort of game it was. So as I was playing through it, as I say, I bought the game not knowing what it was about. I have to admit, this is an excellent anime-based fighter with excellent graphics and a soundtrack to match. The only negative that I have is that its opening animation is very long and actually took about 15 minutes to get through. Now, you can skip it, but especially with new games like this, I always prefer to sort of watch them through. As well as that, I'm also capturing the footage. So, yeah, I'll always let the animation, always let the opening cutscenes run. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this one. It's definitely one that I'm going to go back to. And yeah, I will admit, I can't wait for everything to settle down. But yeah, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, everything will be golden. Then next up, we are going to jump onto a PS5 game, and this was actually the reason that I went into town in the first place. So I'd looked it up online, seen that it was in stock in Maidstone CEX, and that was the reason for going in, because I actually been wanting to pick this one up for a while, because I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and yeah, just wanted to grab it. And that is Maneater on the PS5. So in this game, you basically play as a sort of shark, and it is basically a modern remake, or sort of spiritual successor, shall we say. Not a modern remake, but a spiritual successor to the Jaws game on the PS2. So I think it was Jaws... I can't remember the title of it. I'll put a picture of the box art just up here. And yeah, it's one that I do want for the collection. But yeah, I'd seen the footage for this. Really wanted to pick it up. And I have to say, this was an amazing game. It was so much fun. It was really funny to play. The graphics look amazing. And the controls are just buttery smooth. So yeah, really, really happy to finally have this in the collection. As I say, it's been one that I've been eyeing up for a while, but the price was just that bit too much for than I wanted to pay at the time. So yeah, really glad that it's actually it was actually sort of the price was better. So as you see, I paid £10 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for about £15 on eBay, and that was the main reason for going in and picking it up from CEX. One thing I don't think I mentioned with Kill la Kill, paid £8 for that, and it goes for about £15 on eBay. So once again, CEX coming up Millhouse when it comes to the pricing, shall we say. And then, right, so this next game, once again, it's another PS5 game, and it's one that I'd seen over the last year. I've seen loads of people talking about it, especially when it first released. And at the time, I just wasn't interested in picking it up. But when I was in CEX, I saw it on the shelf, saw the price that it was now going for, and you know, I just decided to pull the trigger. And that is Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Now, I played the original Prince of Persia. I remember playing it on my dad's work PC back in 1990. And I absolutely loved it. Out of all the Prince of Persia games that have been released over the years, this one actually feels the closest to that original game. So it is sort of side-scrolling. And yeah, it was really one that I really enjoyed. And as I say, I'd seen loads of people talking about it online, but when it first came out, I just wasn't interested in it. I think because all of the Prince of Persias that have been released since the sort of the early game. So you had the original game that was released sort of on like Amiga, PC, and all of those ones, sort of late 80s, early 90s. Then you had a sequel released on the PC as well, Prince of Persia 2. I never really played that because I think at the time my dad had managed to get hold of a sort of copy of it, and it just never played properly. So yeah, I never really played the second one, but did play the first one quite a bit and really enjoyed it. And then once it moved into the sort of 3D space and everything like that, I just lost interest in it. But as I say, playing this and capturing the footage for the video, really, really enjoyed it. And it's definitely one that I'm going to spend a bit more time on. So we paid £12 for that out of CEX, and it goes for about £15 on eBay. Then we move on to the bits that I picked up out of the retro cabinet. So yeah, as soon as I go into CEX, the first place that I always go to is the retro cabinet, just in the corner. And today, literally, there was a game there that I saw, and I just went up to the counter and said, "Can you do me a favour? Can you take that one out of the cabinet for me? I'm going to have it." And this was a game I'd actually been after for quite a while, and that is James Bond Jr. on the SNES. Now, this is based off of the TV series of the same name, and it is essentially is based around James Bond's nephew, and as he essentially goes through spy school. At the same time, he's also off on missions, fighting enemies and everything like that. Absolutely loved the series as a kid, and even now I sort of watch it whenever I get the chance. It's got a brilliant theme tune. It really has. But yeah, I'd seen this in a couple of other people's collections, so that's how I knew about it. And then, yeah, went into CEX, saw that it was sitting in the retro cabinet as a cart only, and just decided to pick it up because I've been wanting to play it for a while. And I have to say, the game itself looks amazing. I like the mixture of platforming and side-scrolling shooter. So as you load into the game, I will admit I didn't get too far in it, but as soon as you load into it, it is basically a platforming level, and then you get onto the second level where it's actually a side-scrolling shooter. So I love games like this that mix up the genres, and yeah, really, really glad to have this in the collection. As I say, I'm a massive fan of the series, and this is a game that I've just been wanting to add to the collection for a while now. So ended up getting it cart only for £10 at CEX. Looking it up on eBay, cart only goes for around £14. So once again, we've done really well with the CEX price. And then the last game that we got was also another retro game out of the retro cabinet, and also another SNES game. And that is Mortal Kombat 2. Now, I have to admit, for some reason, I can never get on with the older Mortal Kombat games. I just, every time I go into them, get absolutely whooped and can never get past the first battle. But I am really glad that we've now got both Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 on the SNES in the collection. And there's actually an addition to this as well, because we already have the box. So this was something that I got in a pickup. I think it was a big collector's pickup last year. And I got a whole load of empty boxes. And yeah, this was one I'd actually been after for a while. So when I saw it sitting there in the cabinet, I decided to pick it up. The only problem I've got with it is it doesn't have the manual. So I'm going to have to try and track down the manual so that I've got both versions, or both 1 and 2 complete. But we paid £12 for it £12 for the cart out of CEX. Now, boxed with no manual goes for £25 at CEX and £27 on eBay. So yeah, really, really happy to have another box game to add to the collection. And yeah, I'm actually really happy with how we're getting on with regards to the NES and the SNES. They're not platforms that I pick up too often. It is more sort of very ad hoc and as I see them. But yeah, I have to admit I am quite happy with those collections at the moment. And then that is pretty much it. So that is all the pickups that we made for today. So before we wrap up the video, let's run through the totals. So total spend was £71.99. If we'd picked up the bits that we didn't get from CEX, it would have been £43. Yes, that's right, because we've got Mortal Kombat boxed and 2 Points Academy and Breaking Bad. But if we'd got everything from eBay, it would have been £112.50. So yeah, it probably would have been a bit more of a gap there if I'd actually looked up 2 Points Hospital beforehand. But hey ho, I'm not overly worried about that. It's more the fact of having it in the collection. And yeah, that is everything for today's video. So before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. Well, with that said, thank you so much for joining me today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.